This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, what we did in the last session,
We
we've
have
done
recorded a purchase transaction.
vendor invoice transaction has been posted, right? And vendor reports. This is what we did. Invoice we posted and then we did different reporting. We also discussed about active document splitting, profit center accounting. Today what we'll do, we'll try to record credit memo for the vendor. Let me write vendor credit memo. What is this vendor credit memo? What is this exactly used for?
Purchase return.
Returns.
This is normally used for your returns and also for your adjustments. If you wanted to adjust any balance in the vendor account, you may either pass the vendor credit memo, or in case of any returns, you will pass a vendor credit memo. What will be the accounting entry for this vendor credit memo?
Purchase account credit, vendor account debit.
Purchase account debit, vendor credit. Is this the same entry of your purchase?
Ulta sir.
Right now, for vendor credit memo, your entry will be reverse. Debit will become credit, credit will become debit, which means your vendor account will be debited, purchase account will be credited. When we write purchase account, are we supposed to use purchase account directly, or we have to replace purchase with the actual purchase? Whatever you have purchased, you have to put that account, either goods or services, correct? So you should not write purchase account directly. Even if somebody is asking you, can we write purchase account? Your answer is no, we cannot write purchase account. In place of purchase account, you are going to put the product or service that has been procured or purchased. Now, let's say if you take an example, we have already purchased something and recorded some entry. If I go to FBL1N, vendor report, AJ10, execute. Currently, there is one invoice for how much value? What is the current invoice value of this vendor line item?
12,000.
12,000.
12,000.
Let's say. And this was purchased on 1st February 2023. Let me put 01 Feb 23. Purchase 20,000. Assuming today we are returning 5 February 2023, returned 3,000. Okay, so assuming we have returned 3,000 rupees worth product, whatever we've purchased. Now for this returns, we will have to record another accounting entry. This accounting entry is generally ulta or reverse of your invoice. So if you are returning for a purchase related to 1st February, first what you need to do is you need to look at this accounting entry that is posted on 1st February. Let's display this document. For that, I'll go to vendor line item report. You can select this document. On top, you will find an option called display document. Click on display document. Okay, I'll click on document overview. What account is debited and credited here?
Vendor
Which
account
accounts
has
are
been credited, here has been debited. Stationery account
vendor
has
is
been debited.
credited, stationery is debited. Now what we need to do to pass a credit memo? Debit has to be passed as credit, credit has to be passed as debit. After recording this credit memo, your vendor report is supposed to show how much out of 12,000 you are now returning. Let's say this is minus 12,000. This is written as positive 3,000. After this entry, what should be the balance? 9,000. Your vendor outstanding should stand at 9,000 rupees. What I'm going to do now is I'll go back. This is 12,000 outstanding currently. After passing the credit memo, we have to get 9,000 outstanding. This 12,000 should become 9,000. Let me open a new screen. Transaction code for vendor credit memo F dash
FB65.
41. Let's go with the classic transaction codes. Later on, we will understand the single screen transactions. So we are returning it on 5th February. Let's put 5th February. For credit memo, what is the document type?
AG.
AG. So this is a new document type again. We have to create number range for this as well. Let me go to OBA7 to display the document type KG. Double click on this. Document number range for credit memo KG is 17. To maintain, click on number range information. Give your company code AJ10. Change intervals. Add new intervals. Put 17, 17, fiscal year 2022 and 2023. I'll put 17 all zeros, 17 all nines. Similarly, for 2023 as well. Save it. Save. Now number range information has been updated. Back. Save. Okay. Now here what I'll do is I'll put credit memo. Here also I'll put credit memo. So for credit memo, what is the posting key? 21. 21 is your vendor debit or credit? 21 is your vendor debit. So this is your vendor number. I'll put this vendor number here. 3,000 and I'll put credit memo. Remember, whenever you're recording any credit memo, there is something called invoice reference, which you have to input as mandatory field. This represents this credit memo is issued against what invoice. If I am returning something, I have to represent this returning is from which invoice. If this is your original invoice, I have to pass this invoice number 19 all zeros on the invoice reference field. 19 all zeros and then press enter. Clear? So the only point that you have to remember for credit memo posting is you have to mention original invoice number on the invoice reference field, so that there will be a track updated in the system. Even if somebody else is looking at this credit memo, it will be easy for them to understand why this credit memo was raised, against which invoice. And then you have to reduce the expense, so I'll put credit to which account? Stationery account. This was our stationery account, 46 on 46, 47, all zeros is 6, 3000, profit center, some text, and then simulate. Same logic here also, you need to check profit center on the simulate general ledger option to ensure your document splitting is working as expected. Now, profit center is being updated for your vendor line also, based on which splitting mechanism?
Active.
Active splitting.
Active splitting, right? I'll go back. Now I'll save this. Credit memo is also posted. If I go back to the vendor report, the current outstanding is 12,000. If I refresh this 12,000 should become 9,000, correct? Huh? I'll go to list, refresh. Now this shows outstanding of 9,000. Invoice is showing 12,000. Credit memo is showing 3,000. Net outstanding of your vendor is 9,000. Clear with this credit memo posting? Any doubt?
Sir, when we are raising credit note, nowhere we are mentioning vendor original invoice numbers.
You have mentioned here, no? That you can update in the reference
That
column.
is SAP document reference column.
Okay, that you can update in the reference column here.
Okay.
Here you can update. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, now we are able to update
Okay.
vendor invoice, vendor credit memo. Now what we will do is we'll try to create one more invoice with the same information, and let's see if system is allowing us to record the same information again or not. For that, what I am going to do is I am going to display this document, original invoice. Now what I want to do is I want to create the same invoice as it is, for which I am not going to do the data entry practice again. Now our scenario is to create the same invoice once again to check if system is allowing us or not. Clear requirement? Same invoice once again, and then to check if system allows us or not. For that, again, we need not do the full data entry. Simply what you can do, you can copy the transaction, go to F-02 or FB01. On this, you will find an option called post with reference. What is this option?
Post with reference.
Post with reference. When you click on this post with reference, it will ask you to give the document number from which you want to copy the information or from which you want to copy the data. I will give this invoice number 19 all zeros. This invoice is from company code AJ10 and fiscal year 2023. Come back here, company code followed by your fiscal year. No need to tick any of the buttons here. Straight away press enter on the keyboard. Okay, it will copy all the information from this document. Okay, it has copied this information. If you want to change, you can change the date, document type. If you see, certain fields are frozen. Company code you cannot change, currency you cannot change, posting key you cannot change. Clear? You can change the vendor account. This is working slow. Okay, I can change everything, amount, dates, everything can be changed. Now, if you look at this document, the original invoice document, we have already created this invoice with 23765 in the reference column, correct?
Yes, sir.
This is your vendor invoice. Now I am trying to create the same invoice once again for the same amount. Technically, am I duplicating this or not?
Yes, sir.
I am duplicating. So let me try to save this to check if system allows me to pass a duplicate invoice or not. Now you got the document number posted. Document 19 all zeros 1 was posted in company code AJ10. Let me run the report once again. I'll go back. Okay, list, refresh. Invoice 1. Let me pull reference onto the screen. Reference. Okay, do you find the same reference, same invoice number updated twice?
Yes, sir.
Now, is this a duplicate invoice posted or not?
Yes, sir.
This is a duplicate invoice posted. Is this correct or not correct?
Incorrect.
This is incorrect.
Number is changed, na? Document number is changed. Nine.
This is
It's
our
last.
document number.
Okay.
Okay, this is our document number in our SAP system. But this is the vendor invoice number.
Okay.
You know that you have made only one purchase from this vendor, but you will see the same invoice number has been recorded twice. According to you, you know you purchased for 12,000 and you have returned 3,000. Ideally, you have to pay only 9,000 to the vendor. Correct?
Yes, sir.
But how much is your vendor liability on the system? 21,000.
Hmm.
Which means you can easily figure out, okay, something is wrong. I am supposed to pay only 9,000 to the vendor. How come system is showing 21,000? Then when you do the vendor account reconciliation, you will come to know that a particular invoice has been posted twice. Now, as a user, if you are telling that one invoice has been posted twice, now what is the solution for this? You have to cancel one invoice,
We need to reverse also. No?
right? Yeah, cancellation is nothing but a reversal. You need to
Okay.
reverse or cancel the duplicate invoice. Normally, whenever you cancel or whenever you reverse a transaction, it is not your choice to reverse any of the one from the two. It is not that I can reverse either 0 or 1. I have to strictly reverse the latest document, not the oldest document. Correct? So your action, whatever you are doing, must be justifiable. 0 cannot be a duplicate. Only 1 is duplicate. Am I correct? In
Yes,
these
sir.
two transactions, if I have to say which one is duplicate, I have to tell document number ending with 0 or document number ending with 1. What is
Ending
duplicate?
with ending with one is a duplicate.
Ending with 1 is a duplicate. So now, as a client, as a user, I know that what to do to solve this problem. But I am not okay for solving this problem for one time. If I reverse it, I know that problem will get resolved. But going forward, I want to ensure that system is not going to allow any duplicate invoice to be posted. Correct? Huh? If I reverse this is a temporary fix or a temporary solution for this problem. But this might happen for any vendor. I might be having multiple vendors, multiple users. Now I want to have a control in the system wherein the duplicate invoice posting is blocked or stopped. So this is again a point which you will be asked in your interviews. How will you enable vendor duplicate posting? Now, what invoice are we posting? Finance invoice or logistics invoice?
Finance
Finance
invoice.
invoice.
We are posting a finance invoice. Solution for blocking or stopping finance invoice is different. Solution for blocking or stopping logistics invoice is different. Now, since we are doing a finance invoice, what you need to do is you need to do this control on the vendor master data, where for finance
Vendor
invoice
master.
duplicate invoice stopping, you have to do it on vendor master data. This is our vendor master data. Open this vendor master code. Where can I check my vendor? In S4HANA, vendor is what? Business partner. Where do I check
Yes,
business
sir.
partner? T code.
BP.
BP. I'll go to BP. Here I want to find a business partner. What is the keyword that we are going to look? Name or number? If you know the number, you can straight away pick the number here and pass the business partner number. Click on start or press enter on the keyboard. Did you get anything here? Nothing. Why we did not get this? So we'll have to see if we were using different
BP
number range
number is
for vendor
different.
and this one, correct. So you have something called supplier number. I'll put this as supplier number. Supplier is nothing but vendor. Let me search with the supplier number. Now I got this. This is the vendor code. This is the BP code. Open this. Enter into the vendor role. What is the vendor role?
000000.
Vendor role. This is your BP role. 000000 is BP role.
FLVN
For
double
vendor
zero.
role, FLVN 00. So all these roles slowly you have to start by hearting. Right? These are to be on your fingertips. If somebody is asking, you have to answer within no time. FLVN 00. I'll switch to change mode. Currently I'm on display mode. Let me go to change mode. I'll go to vendor role. FLVN 00. In bracket you will find something called maintained. Right? This role is maintained. If in bracket it is not there, that role is not updated. So I'll go to FLVN 00. Straight away go to your company code setting, top side, expand the company code setting. In this you will find somewhere vendor duplicate check option. So that setting again you will be questioned. Where do you maintain the control for vendor duplicate check? On the vendor account management there is nothing. vendor payment transaction. Here you will find something called check double invoice. Do you find this option here, check double invoice?
Yes, sir.
You
Yes, sir.
need to tick this. If you tick this, system will check if the invoice is posted twice or not. Now, how system is going to verify your invoice is posted double time or not? So for that, you have to understand the basic checkpoint, basic rule that SAP uses, for which put your cursor on this field, click on question mark on top. If you click on question mark, system will tell on what basis it is going to validate or verify. So now we are checking finance document, not logistics document. So this is applicable separately for logistics invoice. This is applicable separately for finance invoice. Currently, we are not posting logistics. We are posting finance invoice. It is telling if a reference number was specified in the sequential invoice or credit memo, the system checks whether an invoice or credit memo has already been posted for which all the following attributes agree. They are your company code, vendor, currency, document date, and reference number. Okay, these are the 5 fields which will form a unique number. If this combination is duplicated, it will stop you from the duplicate invoice posting. So this combination is what people expect from you on your interviews. Clear? Which combination system will verify? How will system identify that an invoice is duplicate or not? You are telling me that this is the control, fine, but how system is going to verify? Validate or assume that this is a duplicate invoice. There has to be a checkpoint combination, correct? Now this is the combination which system is telling. Let us test this now. I'll close this. Now is duplicate invoice checkpoint enabled or disabled for finance invoices?
Enable.
This is enabled. Let me save vendor master. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I am going to copy the same invoice once again. How to copy the same document? Where
Post
should
with
I click?
reference.
Post with reference. I'll give the previous document. This document belongs to 2023. Enter, enter, enter. Right now, I'll try to save. Now, this is a third document we are posting with the same reference. Agree? Ideally, it should be allowed or not allowed.
Not allowed.
It should not be allowed. Let me save this. What message you got?
Document has been posted.
Document has been posted. Now, check passed or check failed. Our duplicate check passed or failed now.
Failed.
Now, check is failed.
Yes, sir.
Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do it once again. So I will assume that this check was not there when the first invoice was posted. So let me do it once again. 2023, enter. Now there is a message coming at the bottom. What message are you getting?
Check whether the document has been already posted.
Right? Is this a warning message or an error message?
Warning message.
Warning.
How do you say that this is a warning message?
That is indicate like
It's in yellow color.
and then
Right? This is in yellow color. This is a warning message. Now, our setting is now working fine. System is able to detect that there is something already posted with this input, and it is giving a warning message. Now, do we need a warning message or an error message? Is your requirement to get a warning or to get an error? If you get a warning, what will happen? You can press enter and you can bypass the warning and proceed to save the entry, correct? Warning message can be ignored by hitting enter on the keyboard. But if you
yes.
get an error message, you cannot ignore the error message. Now we have to convert this warning message into error message. How do you convert a warning message into an error message? This is again another point you have to remember. You just need to double click on this message. When you double
OBA5.
click on this message, you will get one number, one message number. What is the message number? This message number is F5117,
511.
right? So this message number will have two parameters on it. One is your application area and the other one is message number. If you look at the last three digits, which is your 117, that is your message number. If you look at the first two digits, F5, that is your application area. In this application area F5, for message number 117, you have to put the status as error. For that, on the same screen at the bottom, you will find effect on customizing. You can define the appearance of this message according to your requirement. To do this, this is the path. Financial accounting new, global settings new, tools, change message control, or transaction code for this is OBA5. What is the T code?
OBA5.
OBA5. So always go ahead with the transaction code. This is again a point which you will be asked in your interviews. OBA5. If I come to OBA5, it is asking for application area. From your message, first two digits are your application area. Put F5. Okay, enter. On this F5, so you will get different message numbers. Currently, nothing is updated. Click on new entries. And if you open the drop down, you will find different messages. Okay, what message number we were getting? We were getting this message number. Check whether document has already been entered under document number. Right, select this 117, press enter. Okay, now what do you want to do with this message? You want an error or you want a warning? What is the requirement?
To show error.
We want to get error message. For error message, the shortcut is E. You will get E for error, W for warning. We want to get error, select error. Online is front-end posting, batch input is background posting, like your LSMW or LTMC, BDC and all. Give this error message on both the screens, click on save. Okay, now this message has been updated. Let me redo this. I'll close this message. Okay, I'll come out of this screen. F-02. what I have to do? Same process. Click on post with reference. Let me put same information 2023. I'm not doing any change. I'll just put the same data. Enter. The moment I enter, now it is giving an error or warning.
Error.
This is giving an error message. Now let me try to change this amount from 12,000 to 1,000. Is this still giving error message?
Yes, sir.
Right now,
Yes.
is this verifying your amount or not verifying the amount?
It's verifying.
Amount it is not verifying. Your previously posted invoice was for 12,000. Now I am trying for 1,000. So amount is being checked or not checked? If amount is checked, it should not give the error message, right? Previous document was for 12,000. This is for 1,000. These are not duplicate. So amount is not checked. Let me do it once again. This time what I'll do, I will change the document date from 1 to 3 and I'll press enter. Is it allowing this time? Is this allowing or not allowing? Yes, no?
Yes.
It's allowing.
If I'm able to simulate means this is allowing. Now, if this is allowing, where the check failed now, what information I have given incorrect? Document date,
Date.
right? Now, this document date is very, very important when it comes to your vendor invoices. You must strictly put your vendor original invoice date on the document date column. And reference field must be original invoice number of your vendor. Clear? If you're not following this discipline, you cannot control duplicate invoice. Clear? Now, if I post this, system will allow me to record the entry. But is this correct or not correct? Let me refresh this. So is this correct or not correct? I've got a lot of invoices posted with the same number. So these are all duplicates.
Yes, sir.
There is only one valid invoice, remaining 3 are duplicates. Now you have to prevent these kind of transactions by putting some control points in the system. These are all the points that you'll have to talk when you're on your interviews. So what kind of improvements you have done for your client business process? If you get these kind of questions, you'll have to talk these kind of points. You have put validations like this. Right? You have set up a control to stop the duplicate invoice posting. Then they might ask you what you have done to do this. Then you will have to tell on the vendor master data you have enabled this. But this will not control the complete duplicate posting. This will only control finance transaction duplicate posting. For logistics, it is a configuration. For logistics invoice, what we need to do?
Configuration.
Configuration.
Logistics invoice duplication, you have to do a configuration. That configuration is FI or MM?
MM.
That logistics invoice configuration duplicate control is for MM side. Clear?
Yes, sir.
If you tell that you have enabled logistics invoice duplicate control also, you will be immediately cross questioned why you did that, because that is not part of your FI configuration, that is part of configuration. So wherever you are representing that you did configuration related to ST or non-finance module related, you will be immediately cross-questioned, because in any real environment, you are not supposed to do it. If that is related to consultant is supposed to do it. Okay, so this is what you'll have to do from the duplicate invoice point of view. Let me write vendor duplicate invoice check for finance invoice. What we need to do? Enable check double invoice option in vendor master. Where
Payment
exactly in
transaction.
vendor master?
Payment transaction.
Vendor master payment transactions tab. Next one, change the message control as error for message number F5 117 in OB A5 transaction. Clear?
Sir, I have one doubt. If we add leading space, system is bypassing that. How to avoid that, sir?
If I have leading space, so you
Before
cannot
the
avoid
invoice
the,
number.
here if you have leading spaces and then system is bypassing, what we need to do is we need to put a custom checkpoint on this reference field, not to allow any spaces or not to allow any special character likewise. So that will be achieved through ABAP.
Okay, sir.
They will do a specific enhancement on this screen, on this program, not to allow any space. If you put any space in the beginning, it will not allow.
Okay, sir.
Similarly, if I want only numeric value to be allowed, that also can be done, but that requires small enhancement through ABAP programming, which we normally call it as user exit BAPIs and baddies. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now this is all about your duplicate invoice checkpoint and your credit memo and invoice posting. Now one more thing that we'll have to do is you have something called park invoices. When I'm talking about park invoices, so we use single screen transaction for parking, which is, what is the T code? FV60. If I come to transaction code, what is the T code I've mentioned? FV60. If I open this transaction, this is park vendor invoice. So wherein I want my users only to record the data and then park it. And I want another user to review the invoice information and then post it. In short, I want to have maker checker concept for invoice posting. This is very, very important in order to stop your wrong invoice postings, duplicate invoice postings. Clear? So you have something called maker checker concept. What will this do? If user
One
A
will park and one.
will park the invoice and user B will review and post the invoice. Clear? So user A is maker, user B will be checker. People might ask you what is maker checker concept and how we will do it in SAP. Then you must have at least some understanding. Maker checker concept is nothing but parking and posting of a document. Clear? So
Yes,
if
sir.
I want user A to park the invoice, I mean that user A should not post the invoice. Clear? According to me, user A is not authorized to post the invoice, for which what I want is on the park invoices screen. Do I find post option here?
Yes, sir.
Do you find post option?
Yes.
Now, let me try to record this invoice. I'll change company code AJ10. What is the vendor? Vendor, I'll put test, some amount 300. 47 transport charges, let's say 300. I'll give profit center AJ1001. Okay, I have given debit and credit, vendor account and then the expense account. Now, if I have to post this, now is my maker checker concept fulfilled or not fulfilled?
Not fulfilled, sir.
If I'm able to post from this, maker checker concept is not fulfilled. There is no control. So according to me, I want user only to park this. If I click on this, it will park the entry. But if I click on this, it will post the entry. Now having post button on the park top screen, is it correct or not? Having post button on the park transaction is incorrect. So this we have to manually remove it. So how many post buttons you will find on this screen currently? One, correct? Park
Sir.
Sir.
post option one. And if I go to document on the top, do I find another post option?
Oh, yes, sir.
How many post options so far?
Two.
2.
Two. Now let me simulate this. Okay, on simulation, we are not getting any post option. Okay, I'll go back. Let me simulate general ledger. This is also fine. Let me go back. Now you are able to get post option on the park screen, which will have to be removed. Now to do this, you have something called post option on the park document should not be visible. Correct? Post option on the park document should not be visible. Park document screen should not be visible. So we will hide post option using screen transaction variant configuration decode sh
SHP D0.
t0. Clear? We will have to do this to hide this post option from the park document screen. Now how this is executed on the park transaction we will see. Now this is the park transaction wherein I am able to see post option. Where is it? I'll go back. One sec, I think somebody enabled this. Let me bring that once again. FV60. You will see the post option here. For this, we have to use which functionality to remove this? Screen variant and transaction variant. Decode for screen variant and transaction variant. What is it?
SHD0.
SHD0. Now let's enter this SHD0 /n SHD0. So first thing what you do here is the moment you're on this screen, put the transaction code. Which T code are we checking? Which T code are we checking? FV60.
60.
Put FV60, park incoming invoices, press enter, and you check on the transaction variant. You also check on standard variant. Currently, there is nothing on the standard variant. There is nothing on the transaction variant. We are not doing screen variant as of now. You have to look at only the first two, standard variant and a transaction variant. In this, what you have to do is you have to create a transaction variant. What you will be doing is whatever the transaction you have, you need to add Z before it. If I add Z before the transaction code, what it will be?
Customization.
ZFV60, correct? Clear? ZFV60. Put this ZFV60 and click on this icon, create. Where we need to click? Create. Click on this create option and it will ask you to record some entry. Put some sample entry. What was the vendor number? Copy this. Date. Test. Amount 100. GL account 47. All zeros. Same amount. Give profit center. Clear? So far any doubt? Because for us to remove it, you have to put the data because you are testing it. Clear? I have not done anything except filling of the data. Clear? Once you are done with here, press enter on the keyboard. The moment you press enter, you will get this. There is a pop-up on your screen. On this pop-up, you will get name of a screen variant, short text of the screen variant. put the same text here, and straight away you go to menu functions. Where we need to go?
Menu function.
Menu
Menu function.
functions.
Because your post option is there on the menu options. Correct? You do not want to disturb any of the existing field. You only want to remove post option from the menu bar. Click on menu functions. Here you will find menu bar. Open this menu bar. If you open this menu bar, we were able to see the post option under this document. Correct? So you have to go to the document. If I go to document, is there post option?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now select this post option. Down below the second icon. What is this icon?
Post.
Deactivate.
Deactivate. Click on deactivate. Okay, now post option has been deactivated. Minimize the menu bar. And these are function key settings. Whatever you see here, you can see my cursor. These are all function key settings. Open the function key settings, because here also we have post. Now if we disabled on the menu bar, here also it is disabled.
Yes.
Alright, now this is disabled. Fine. I'll say okay. I do not want any other corrections. I'll simply exit and save. I'll give ZFV50 as the description. And if I come down completely, so you will find this BU here. BU means posting. I can put this as a status. I can also put this for transaction. That this transaction does not allow you to put post. Clear? This is the deactivated function. Which function is deactivated? BU. BU represents post.
Post.
Okay. I will save this. The moment you click on save, you will get a pop-up like this. 1 minute. What is it asking for on the screen? Package.
Yes.
It is not asking for a TR. It is asking for what? Package. Correct? Now in the real environment, this package will be ZFI. In the real environment, what will be the package? ZFI will be the project, sorry, will be the package, and this package will be created by the technical team. This package will be created by technical team, and they will tell you which package to be used. Majority of the cases, this will be ZFI. If you are not sure, let's say we are on the test environment, you can also use local object. What we can use? We can use local object. Now since we are on the training environment, test system, we may not be having package which is properly created. Instead, what we will do, we will create a local object. So do you find a local object on the screen? Click on this local object. It will give a temporary object. Click on save. Okay. Now go back. Okay. Now whatever we have done, we have to check whether it is working fine or not. Now do you find the screen variant created here under transaction variant ZFA60? Clear? Now this has been created. Top you will find one icon called, what is this icon?
Test.
Test. We need to click on this to check if it is working fine or not. Let me click on test. Now do you find post icon here? Do you find post or it is disappeared? Post disappeared. Now if I go to menu document, here also post disappeared.
Yes, sir.
Correct? Huh? Now I have not yet activated this. Let me open the same screen here. Now do you find post enabled here? Correct? Huh? This post disappeared here, and from this document this post also disappeared. Agree? How we were able to deactivate this post button? Using what functionality?
Screen variant.
Screen variant and transaction variant. What was the transaction code we have used?
SHD0.
SHD0. All right, let me close this. Now it is working fine. What I'll do, I'll just go back. Cancel. Yes. Now I need to enable this, or I need to activate this. For the activation, go to standard variant, and for the transaction code FV60, you put the standard variant ZFV60 and you will find an icon here, activate. Clear? I need to activate this. Let me activate this. This is giving a message, standard variant also set at beginning of transaction without variant. Okay, continue. Now this is activated. Now this is giving me an option to deactivate this. I have already activated. I do not want to deactivate. I'll go back. Let me open Park invoice screen once again. FV60. If I look at FV60, do I find post button now or it disappeared? Post button disappeared now. Let me try to record one entry now to check if system allows me to post or not. 151 all zeros 5 vendor code date test some amount 47,000 profit center. Okay, I do not find post button here. Let me go to document. I do not find post button here also. Let me simulate. On this simulation also there is no post button. Do you find post button? Yes, no?
No, sir.
There is no post button. Let me go back. Let me do this simulation also. This simulation is also not giving post button, but there is one more setting which will give us post button on this simulation. Currently, are we getting post button anywhere
No,
on this simulation? No.
No.
What I'll do, I will go to editing options. I'll go to which options?
Editing options.
Editing options. If you go to any data entry screen, you will find something called editing options. Do you find this?
Yes, sir.
I can either click on this from this screen, or I can open using FB00. What is the T code?
FB00.
FB00. Open this. In this, you will find an option called this document overview as ALV grid control. Sometimes if you are getting post button on this simulation screen, you will have to tick this. Okay, you'll have to tick this and then save it. Now let me try to simulate once again. FV60. One five one date, GL account 47,222, profit center. Post option is not there. Let me simulate. Now there is no post option. Go back. Let me simulate. There is no post option. Correct? Now what I'll do, same screen I will show you on ECC. Close this.
Sir, this configuration is company code specific or for all the company codes, sir?
This is client specific, all the company codes.
Okay.
ATIN, three hundred, 300. Okay. Now we are looking at ECC screen. You will find post option here. You will also find post option here. Let me click on simulate. On simulation, do you find another post option? Can you see this post option on the simulation screen? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now let me do simulation from menu bar also. Now this simulation is what I did here from document. Let me simulate. Here also we are getting post option. How do we hide this post option from the simulation bar? Where we should go?
SHT.
Simulation posting on the simulation screen. Posting on the menu bar from SHD0.
ALV, FB00.
Right. For this, you'll have to go to FB00. On FB00, you need to take this document overview as ALV grid control. Clear? If you do this and save, if you are using this maker checker concept, you will enable this tick for all the users at mass level from basis consultant. I'll go to FV60 once again. Same input. $300. Let me simulate. Now, do you still find post option or it disappeared? After enabling that FB00 ALV grid control, are we able to see the post option or it disappeared?
It's there, sir.
We can see.
It is still there. This will disappear when you maintain SHD0 setting. When this will disappear?
SHD0.
Okay, let me quickly do SHD0 here. Transaction code FV60. Now we are doing the same setting on ECC FV60. Create. Some testing. Some random amount you put, GL account, same amount, enter. You will get this. Put the same description here. Straight away click on what?
Menu functions.
I have to click on menu functions. From menu functions, where should I go?
Document. Menu bar.
Menu bar. From menu bar,
Document.
document.
Oh,
What I need to do? Select
deactivate the
post. Click on deactivate icon. Right? Say continue. I should also ensure this post also disappeared. That is there on which option? Function key settings.
Yes, sir.
In function key setting, this post also automatically disappeared. Okay. Exit and save. ZFV60. Save it. So when you're in a real environment, what will be your package? ZFI.
ZFI.
If you're on a training environment, local object.
Local pack.
What is this
Click on local.
package?
These are additional customizations that you are doing. These are all to be stored under a specific package. So these are module specific. For any related additional technical changes you are doing, you will be storing under your technical specific package. If you are working for FI, you will have ZFI as a package to see separately what changes you have made on the system. This is not configuration related, right? Nowhere system is giving us TR. That system
No,
is
sir.
asking you to make TR.
No.
These are being stored in the local object. Now this object is what you have to capture into your TR. How we will capture the configurations where there is no TR into a TR, we will see in a separate session. Okay, we are making changes in the system, but these changes are not captured in the TR. Agree?
Yes, sir.
How we will capture these kind of changes in the TR, I'll show in the upcoming sessions. I'll save this. Sorry, I need to go down. I need to stop this for the whole transaction and then save again. Go back. Now I need to test this. For testing, what I need to do, I should not straight away save it. Before saving it, I have to test it whether it is working or not. For that, before activating, I can check here.
Okay.
Okay, only when I am fine that it is working fine, that is where I'm going to activate it. Test. Some amount. GL. Not giving profit center. It's only about simulation. Now on simulation, do you find post? It disappeared.
Disappeared.
This simulation post disappeared from your FB00 setting. Clear now? Now what I'll do, I'll cancel this. Let me activate this. Now when you practice this, what you do, delete this variant or simply come to FV60, click on this open drop down. You need to put transaction code alone and remove this. press enter. You will come to know if any transaction variant is created for this. Do not delete them, simply deactivate them. What you need to do? Deactivate. Now currently this is active. I'll go back. Now I'll go to FB00. I'll remove this, save. FV60. Post option is already disabled. Let us verify on the simulation screen. Some amount. For testing, you need not consider about what data you are passing on. Only focus on your testing. Now post is again coming on the simulation.
Yes.
Right? SHD0 is removing post options only from the menu bar. Whatever the post option that is coming on the simulation, from where we need to remove this third post option? From editing option, FB00. What I need to do here?
Net annual grid.
Document overview as ALV grid control. Click this, save it. Now when you are in a project in the real environment, you are not going to do this, you are not going to show this to your user. Instead, you will give all the user IDs to the basis consultant. You will tell them to activate this. Okay, how you will activate this is based on this. You have to go to SU1 is your user, not SU1. Let me go SU3. From the SU3, if I go to parameters, here is where you will get that option. Accounting XFO2. So here you will get this. I think that will be either FO2. This will be FO2. Okay, so let's verify this. This is your before setting, correct? Alt CA. How many X we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is 6 correct number? This X I mean.
Yes, it's cut.
Now what I will do, I'll remove this setting. I'll save it. Okay. Now when I open this again, there will be a slight change here. Let me open this once again. SU3 display user. This is already locked. I have to come out. SU3 parameter. Now this is still the same. Any difference or it is the same?
It's same.
It is the same, which means it is not the parameter to be updated. This is not the parameter. Some other parameter is to be updated. So that you have to identify. So what we will do for it, you will simply copy all this. Okay, put this in the Excel sheet. like this, and change the setting, save this. Now come back to this, reopen SU3 parameter, copy all this once again, copy, I'll copy somewhere here, and we need to check where is the change that we are able to identify. Let me remove this and put this from here. Now if you look at this value and this value, is everything same or anywhere you find any difference?
Same, sir.
It is same.
Same everywhere? 8AP, AVE, FBA, FBZ. Okay, so let's do a VLOOKUP, true false. Everywhere it is coming same, but ideally it has to get updated, right? Something will
We
get
need to give the
changed.
parameter, no, sir. We need to press F1 and get the parameter ID there.
No need, you will easily get this. Here you will not get, but you will see the change in this. Otherwise, even if you tell the ABAPer, sorry, not ABAP, basis guy, he will maintain this tick from the backend for all the user IDs as a default. Okay, so they will enable this tick for all the user IDs from backend, because the user role is not something that we can change. User master is strictly updated by basis consultant. Clear? So ideally it has to get updated. I'm not sure why this is not reflecting. Ideally these parameters will get changed, especially when you make your default layouts and all, right? So at that time these settings will get updated. Are we using from ECC both or no?
ECC we are using.
No, we are checking ECC and we are changing in S4. Our mistake. This is your ECC, but I am checking in, I am making changes in S4. Okay, FB00. Now this is enabled. Okay, these are the settings while this is enabled. XCX. Now let me remove this and then check. Okay, now I logged out from S4, SU3 parameter. I put this here, remove this, copy here. Let me check this true. Now there is a false. Do you find false? Can you see a false there?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now this false is coming at this FO2. Here there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 into marks. Here there are only 5. So this parameter is what you are going to share with basis, because he will ask you which parameter should I update in the user master. When you give this, he will blindly put this in all the user profiles. Clear?
Yes,
When
sir.
somebody is asking you all this, you will have to explain at this level. Only then the other person will get convinced that you worked on this. If you are only telling the configuration T codes, again there is a problem. Clear?
Yes, sir.
I'll remove this. All right, let me stop this recording.